Good morning, everyone. Today I would like to share with you some insights about daily stand-ups. I assume that most of you use Scrum on a daily basis. Are you using Scrumbat or Scrum?
Scrum.
Rather Scrum. But sometimes, as I heard the stories of software developers, it's more like Scrumbat. So we are having daily stand-ups, but they don't look like they should do. So today I would like to share some insights. What can we do to improve our daily meetings and to be more effective as a team and as a software developers? There are a lot of articles across the net while daily stand-ups fail. We all know hundreds of stories like this. I will provide you some examples from the teams or people I was collaborating with. Next, I will focus on the 3 questions we usually should get during the daily stand-up. And finally, some general idea. What can we do to be much more effective and to have value from the meeting, not only for the developers, but also for all the people involved, like product owners or the clients, or whoever else takes part in this. Why we fail? Generally, probably the most important reason is we are reporting, so providing a schedule of I did this, that, or we are providing a storytelling or gossiping. We are sharing the insights from yesterday in some kind of the flow, which is pretty annoying for the group, as if someone is running in front of your face while you have a presentation or something like this. We should focus on most important things. I assume that usually when you work with a team, people believe that you are working, doing your stuff. So there's no need to prove it by providing a detailed description of everything you are doing. Another thing which happens is omitting the 3 questions. So we should talk about what you did, what are your plans, what are the obstacles. Some teams change the order, starting from the obstacles. Some of them add additional information, like for example, what I did to improve my work yesterday, or what was the best thing I did while coding. But generally, we should cover these 3 questions, remembering about the obstacles. Very often people say there is no obstacles, but there are a lot of them, I assure you, not only on the technology ground, but also on the matters which are connected with the project itself. And finally, there's a situation when someone is talking about his issues, and the rest of the team is checking what are my notes for today, or what should I say. So if they are not listening, if they are passive listeners, or they are doing something on their laptops, what's the reason of the stand-up? The stand-up is to share the information, look for some key points which can be helpful, to share the knowledge about what's going on, and to provide a business value. If we are not listening to one another, just waiting for our turn, providing the list of duties, and we go to work, there's no need to have a daily stand-up. So what can we do to move our daily stand-ups to the next level? And I think there are 3 more important things we can focus on. The first one is if our tasks are done. If we are talking about it, I was doing this and it's not completed yet, and there is a task which takes for a long period of time, we should focus on the things we've already done and which are important for the team, for the product owner, for the business owner. We should talk about dependencies. So if there are some relatedness between tasks we are doing and tasks of other people, or some important issues in the project, for example, our task can influence the deadline or the sprint, we should also talk about it. And if we are thinking about the obstacles, it's not only about the code. It's also about how our tasks, for example, influence the deadline, the business value which should be provided. If, for example, we estimated the task for 12 hours and it takes us already 20 hours, we should talk about it during the daily stand-up, because it's a kind of the obstacle. If we have a problem with a microphone and it doesn't work, we should talk about it. It's kind of the obstacle. If we don't get information via email from a product owner, we should talk about it because it's the obstacle. And we can talk about it on Monday because it's our obstacle. I didn't get a response. If there is a Tuesday and I still didn't get a response, I can talk about it because it's my obstacle. If we don't know if we should continue the task or move to some other, we should talk about it during the daily stand-up because it's our obstacle. So, what can we do to be more value-driven during the stand-up? At first, we should think about the audience. So, who is really taking part in the stand-ups? Is there just other developers, or maybe there is a team lead there, or maybe there's a product owner? Knowing the audience, we can create the proper wording and topics to be covered. If, for example, there is just two developers from my team and the client from the other side who is not a technical guy, if I'm providing just a technical information and use the words connected with software programming and he or she doesn't know what I'm talking about, so what's the need for this stand-up? So we should think about who is there and what kind of information I would like to cover to this group. And finally, we should always remember about the business perspective. So what is the point of my tasks? What is the value I should cover in this sprint? There is, and to summarize, there is a first principle of the Agile Manifesto. The main aim of developing the software is to provide satisfaction to the customer and to deliver value as often as possible. And as this presentation was time-boxed, so this is the end. If you have any question, there is time now to ask them. Okay, thank you very much.